I don't know, those of you who are into small engines and tractors and stuff will remember this company. They're pretty well gone now, and Tecumseh actually invented the first sealed compressor, like for AC refrigeration units and stuff. And then ended up buying Lawson Power Products, and they got into the small engine game. Now, Lawson back in the day was a quality engine. Pretty much every small engine, in the 30s through the 60s was not too terribly bad. But we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the 2024 Road Glide in Copperhead. So we're at 2,000 and change. I did one leg of Run for the Wall, which I usually do, and that's my platoon number. But this ride pretty well had me convinced we needed to do some things. And this is kind of the, strength and weakness takeaway for the Road Glide CVO. And one of the first things I realized is, well, let's start here. I had to adjust the apes a little bit toward me, which helped. But this right here, and I know, serious, especially tourers, the backrest is pretty well mandatory. And this is the Harley-Davidson product with the mounting kit. And the catalog says that this backrest will work with the 2024, well, actually 2023, 24, and 25 CVO, not the ST, the CVO, and it will not. So this is obviously a two-piece seat. So you have the operator seat, then you have the passenger pillion. And the way this hardware works is that it bolts onto, obviously, where the seat is fastened with those two screws down in there. But there's also kind of a triangulated truss or strut that bolts onto a cross member just behind the, would it be the, no, it would be the powertrain control module. And the truss kind of travels up. But guess what? There's interference because the backing of this seat is plastic and there's no way it would fit. And so what I did was I cut a notch to clear the seat and it fits. But unfortunately, the steel mounting claw that would normally go over or around the kind of the securing bolts hardware there and then secured there, that interfered. So basically, I did away with that, and I never carry it. If I carry a passenger, it is going to be absolute coincidence. But if you really secure this thing down, the grab strap, you're going to be okay. And what else I add? Yes, so I added the Harley-Davidson back, or the rack, the luggage rack. So now I have this whole bit of real estate for one of the big bags I carry. It's essentially a tactical backpack, and it's waterproofed. It has multiple compartments. You can put your various bits of hardware in there as well as clothing items, because those Harman Kardon speakers really intrude into the luggage space here. Now the CVO comes standard with the custom Harley luggage inserts, so it's pretty cool. It fits right, so you pack your gear and you fit it down here, but literally you have to smush down the luggage to clear these very intrusive speakers. Now, aesthetically, of course, it looks great. And, the buyers of CVOs is probably an expectation that they have. I could do without them, but because we have this rack now along with the passenger pillion, and I can stow my big backpack here, that's going to take most of my luggage or most of my clothing items, and then some of the hardware bits will go down in here where now they have space to live. But as you can see, because I carry so in a Ziploc, I put my trauma kit, and that thing eats up real estate. So, one of these saddlebags pretty much are some, repair and survival and trauma items, and the other side is going to be clothing. So this rack really, it really saved the day. But I have to tell you, if you're going to do some serious riding, this is mandatory. It changed the whole game about longer distance riding with me. Before, I'm kind of hanging on. And push steering actually was pull steering from the opposite side. Well, not so anymore. And as you know, as I've said multiple times, I'm a low speed obstacle kind of addict. I love taking these things on like the MSF and the advanced course, and doing your low speed maneuvering, your parking lot maneuvering, staging the vehicle, backing it up, getting it ready to deploy. And this really preserved my shoulders, both of which are trash and have been overhauled once. My elbows, I had an accident when I was 5 years old. I fell off of a bunk bed in an RV trailer we had. It was the one up front for kids, and it's over the dinette. And it was a Saturday morning, and I wanted to watch Saturday morning cartoons. And we had this little black and white TV on the table. My brother's just down there eating cereal, and I lean over too far. I fall off the bed and like bounce off the table and hit the deck of the trailer, and shattered both my wrists and both of my elbows. And I was in kind of like this little cast assembly for quite a while all that healed up. But when it did, my elbows especially were janked. In fact, when I was at MEPS years ago, the doc kept looking at my elbows going, "And what in the hell happened to you, son?" And I told him, and he's like, "Well, can you do a push-up?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Show me." So I freaking blew out 25, 30 push-ups. I had made myself ready for boot camp. And he's like, "Yep, good enough for me." And that was the end of that. But, with 25 more years on you, you've got to give your body every chance it can have, there's a cliche, to be successful. And to be successful on a motorcycle, obviously, you have to master low speed maneuvering. You have to master collision avoidance. You have to master your escape paths. And everything comes together to put you into an area of situational awareness where you understand that you are invisible and everybody's out to try to get you. And so these items which improve your comfort and decrease fatigue on a bike is super important. And it definitely did here. Okay, so what about mechanics? The engine, and this is just an M8 thing. You're going to get an M8 sometimes it's clattery. You're going to get an M8 sometimes that is swoosh, swoosh, quiet. This thing, when they did all the work on the cam chest and replaced the camshaft and the variable valve train, and they added adjustable push rods, and they basically had to break the heads down to bare, plus valves, but the bridges, everything was hammered because of that failed lifter. And they did all that, and it definitely, put it back to where it needed to be. But, my ear is tuned to kind of, they click, click, click. And, my Fat Boy, my 22 Fat Boy made that noise. The 21 Slim did not. It was a whisper quiet. Other than the pipes, it was a quiet M8. And that was a 107. So, we've 1,400 miles on it since they did all that work. Because it was brand new when that went down. And Harley, they have their haters, but I'm going to tell you, between the dealership, Legends Harley-Davidson in Mayer, Arizona, and I'm going to constantly plug them, and Harley itself, they stepped up to the bat, and there was a no questions asked. Do whatever needs to be done to make this CVO right, and they did. And they always add things like they did like the ceramic treatment on it, and that was something that it was like a dealer customer satisfaction thing, and that's the kind of stuff that really makes the difference in a relationship with a retail establishment that sells like durable goods. So you hate on them all you want to, but this is an amazing bike. And I've gotten to where the car, especially CarPlay, this thing boots up CarPlay. It's as quick as that guy. And it gets CarPlay going. So my maps are loaded, my destination, all that stuff, all of my pins are loaded. And that's a big deal. Now, I've gotten so used to the driver enhancement and safety features of this motorcycle that I don't know if I could go back comfortably. In fact, I know I wouldn't go back comfortably. And I had a gorgeous, extremely nice, extremely well-built and fast 2023 Road Glide Fast Johnny. That thing was crazy. But yeah, between the tab pipes or tab slip-ons and the other mods that have been done to it, by the way, I think I mentioned, when they did all the cam chest work, they did dyno the thing and tuned it accordingly for the pipes. And that is an important thing to do. And after that, I'm just made a point of getting on the bike and putting it through its paces. I did a kind of a measured amount of highway driving with cruise control, highway driving without cruise control, and then city, low speed maneuvering, stop and go, stop and go. And the matrix starts to construct itself around your driving habits. And this was no different than the other Harleys. It was actually faster, and I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it was faster. It was within 70 miles. I noticed, okay, it's pretty well worked itself out. And the VVT continues to impress me because the fuel economy figures for it are consistent. Now, I decided I wanted to see how I could, if I could adapt to sport mode. You put this thing into sport mode, your fuel economy is going to drop from the low 50s to like 47, 48, which I'm not complaining, and I'm pretty sure nobody else would complain too, considering how much motorcycle we have here. Some of the downsides, the telematics on it will glitch out periodically, and the screen will just stay black and the bike will run fine. And like on your modern cars that are very AI rich, and this bike is, all of your new Harleys are, especially in the touring lines, you just shut it down, give it some time to sort itself out, power it back up, the bike boots back up, it pushes CarPlay, everything syncs up, Cena syncs up, and you're off and you're on your way. Another downside of this thing is, and I'm not going to mention price because people that buy Rolls Royces aren't complaining about price. They want a Rolls Royce. And if you want a CVO premium Harley Davidson, you understand that's what you're going to pay for. But one of the when you do your PMIs on it, which is your oil filter and your other two holes, is that is such a tight entrance and egress point for the oil filter because you have interference with your shift linkage, the shifter itself, and then the oil to coolant bottle, which is here. Now, can you do it? Yeah, you just need the circular style oil filter wrench, which is really the only thing you can do to get to it. And get it on there where it's tight and use a long extension, spin it off, and just kind of work it out. But before you do that, just take some shop rags or some pig pads and stuff down in there so it captures the oil that's invariably going to come out. The tool does not fit in there, so I don't even try. And let's see. The transmission. So the what's this thing called, the Cruise Drive 6-speed? I've had two. So the Slim's transmission, it was very difficult to find neutral, and the same for the Fat Boy. Even after thousands of miles, it was still very difficult. This transmission's very slick, and from the get-go, it was easy to find neutral. It is a very smooth shifting transmission. It has a very, very progressive, predictable clutch and cable. We'll see after, because especially if you're doing a lot of friction zone work, the clutch is going to take a hit. But that's why they make the heavy-duty Screaming Eagle clutch setup. And other vendors make really good clutches too. So we'll just wait and see on that. Other than that, just really, really enjoying it. And, as, 2,500 turn into 5, turn into 10 with this thing, because I'm pretty well done. I'm done with new vehicles, and I'm done with new bikes. So as the miles stack on it, we'll see how the AI-rich telematics system and networks continue to wake up in the morning and go to work and then go to bed. So it's about it, and you guys have a great day.